Welcome to Around the Horn at FantasyAlarm.com. I'm your host, Ray Flowers, sporting the Superman attire today. Why? Let's celebrate the largest contract in the history of North American professional sports. Giancarlo Stanton did indeed agree to a 12-year, $325 million contract with the Marlins. Here is the crazy part. The Marlins the last 5 years have paid their entire rosters $303 million. Yeah, they're giving Stanton more himself than they paid the entire team for 5 seasons. What are they getting in Stanton? They're getting a superstar if he can stay healthy. Now, I haven't heard anyone talking about this fact, and it's very difficult at this stage of his career to say he's an injury-prone player. But the last 3 seasons, he has averaged 128 games played. Not a big number. That's, Carlos Gonzalez-like. That's missing an entire month of the season for the past 3 years. We'll wait and see. It probably won't be an issue long-term, but for now, a little bit of a concern. Back to the contract, it's really backloaded, not a surprise here. Full no-trade clause, so if Stanton wants to stay with the Marlins, he can stay with the Marlins. The only way they're going to be able to trade him is if he says, thumbs up, you can trade me. He'll get about $30 million the first 3 years, so that will allow the Marlins some flexibility to add players. And if he opts out after 6 years, because there is a clause in the contract that says he can opt out after 6 years, if he wants to go and try to do like A-Rod, get a massive contract, and then get another massive contract. If he does opt out after 6 years, he'll make an average of about $17.8 million a season. So it's actually a pretty good contract for the Marlins. I think the only downside for the Marlins is that there is a no-trade clause, so if Stanton doesn't want to go, he's not going anywhere. If I was Stanton, I wouldn't have signed the contract, because I don't trust this team, the ownership of this team. But, hey, I don't know if I'd turn down $325 million either, let's be honest. Should be able to be a big-time producer. They're talking about bringing the fences in. That would help the power a little bit. If he stays healthy, one of the best power hitters in baseball, without question. Number 2 situation. What about Pablo Sandoval? Giants and Red Sox seem to be the 2 teams that are really in the hunt here. Someone else could always emerge. Sandoval had been offered a Hunter Pence-like contract by the Giants previously. 5 years, $90 million. Reports circulating everywhere that he wants $100+ million on his contract. Well, now we're back to the area where it looks like the Red Sox and the Giants are going to be in that 5-year, $90 million territory. Is that going to be enough? If the Red Sox don't bowl over Sandoval, does he go to the Red Sox? Does he go back to where he has success? So let's go with the Giants. We'll have to wait and see here. He's a big-time bat on the market right now in terms of being a free agent. Concerns about the 28-year-old's ability to stay in shape. It seems like there's going to be weight clauses in whichever contract he signs. Brought that on himself. He can hit. He can flat out hit. He's a very good defender if he can maintain shape. If he can maintain discipline and not get overweight, he could have a very good run here on the next 5 or 6 years with that career, whether it's in the American League or staying here in San Francisco with the Giants. 2 pitchers with the Orioles might be on the move. I don't know if either guy gets dealt, because there are significant financial implications for both. But the first guy is Ubaldo Jimenez, who's got 3 years, about $36.5 million left on his contract. The Orioles have to eat that, or part of that, if they want to trade him. Last season did not go as expected for Ubaldo in his first season with the Orioles. Problems throwing strikes, problems elevating the ball, problems with consistency. Still a live arm, still can be very effective, but just, really, folks, he's an on-base machine, and that's not a good thing when you're a pitcher. So the Orioles are going to have to eat a chunk of that if they want to move him. The other guy they might move is Bud Norris. There's estimates that he'll go to arbitration and get anywhere between $8.5 $9 million this season. That's a pretty steep price. Norris is a very good big league pitcher. He's a 4 or 5 starter in the majors, which makes him a 6 or a 7 in the fantasy game. He's not someone you really want to use anything other than as a streaming option. But if either of those 2 guys were to get dealt out of Baltimore, let's say to a pitcher's park or to the National League, you want to pay a little bit more attention to them because right now, AL East, Baltimore, tough place to pitch, tough scenario to be in for both those guys. Zach Duke. Oh, Zach Duke. He's going to the White Sox. Folks, if you're a parent, teach your kid to be left-handed. Zach Duke's a nobody. Hasn't done anything. Hasn't been around. Has a great season with the Brewers. What happens? 3 years, $15 million from the White Sox. Teach your kid to throw lefty, folks. I'm telling you. Lots of money in that. And then finally, the case of Matt Harvey. Good comeback from the surgery, the Tommy John surgery. He didn't throw a single pitch in 2014. He'll be 26 years old on opening day in 2015. So what do we do with the guy who's the face of the franchise, who didn't even get to 180 innings pitched in 2013? Where does he go? He's going to be healthy. Sandy Ellison, the GM, said he'll be in the rotation from day 1. Okay, they're not going to baby him in that respect. But you have to strongly believe that the Mets aren't going to allow Harvey to throw more than 180 innings this year. Maybe 185, maybe 109, maybe. but they're going to be very careful with him. Now, they believe they can contend. I don't know if that's a realistic possibility or not, but they believe that's possible. So what they're looking to do is to find a way to not have to shut Harvey down late in the season. They don't want to do what the Nationals did a few years back with Steven Strasburg. They want to have Harvey late in the year in case they need him. He will start in the rotation from day one. What does that mean? That means that maybe they rein his innings in. Maybe instead of letting him go 7 or 8 innings, they're only holding him to 6 or 7 innings, like the Nationals have done frequently with Steven Strasburg. Maybe they skip a start here and there. They'll skip one here, one here, one here. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll do what the Cardinals did with Michael Wacha, which is basically demote him to the minors for a period of time, allow him to rest, then bring him back. We'll have to wait and see. We don't really know. The bottom line is Matt Harvey, you can't draft him to be your ace because he won't throw ace-like innings. It's very unreasonable, in my opinion, to expect ace-like production from a guy who didn't throw a single pitch and's coming back from Tommy John surgery in 2014. Harvey's a great arm. Take a chance, take a hope, throw a dart, all that kind of stuff. But he is not, N-O-T, someone you want to build your fantasy squad around in 2015. Ray Flowers, Around the Horn, Superman, Giants. Don't forget to visit fantasyalarm.com. Hope everyone's having a good day. I will talk to you all again shortly.